Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My apology for going live on the wrong Facebook page for one little moment. Welcome to this call. It is Monday evening, time for Crypto Talk, and it's our privilege to serve you tonight. And I have a whole host, the whole team with me here tonight. I'm privileged to have everybody in the room, and tonight we'll have fun. I know it's cold where you are, and I know the markets are cold as well, and that's bittersweet. We would love to change that for you tonight, and let's have some fun and look at the market. And we are privileged to have in the room, prepared with his slideshow, prepared for us to his slideshow. Sorry, I'm lying to you. Prepared for us his chart, none other than Jason. But before I go to Jason, allow me to just show you the topic for tonight. We will do a crypto market review, but the crypto market broke down, and the question is, what's next? And we are privileged, as you all know, that we have Jason in the room as the subject matter expert on crypto matters, and none other in the room than Jason himself, our crypto trader, and the subject matter expert on crypto trading. And Jason, it's always such a privilege to have you in the room and to just listen to you, because in the chaos, you always bring a little bit of sanity with your demeanor and the way that you present it. So, Jason, please help us make some sense of what is happening out there.
Thanks, Daniel. Good evening, everybody. I hope we're all surviving in this. I wouldn't say just today, but for the last 4 or 5 days, it's been very blood in the streets, as they say. But especially today, it's really it's been very stressful. We're not sure where the bottom is, but it looks like we have possibly got a temporary bottom here. And we came down, this is on Binance Exchange, down to 22,585. Yeah, just maybe 22,600. And if we go onto the weekly and we put on the 200 moving average, now what this represents is it takes into consideration Bitcoin's price on a weekly basis for the last 200 weeks, and it works out the average. And you can see there on Binance, we almost got there, but on some exchanges, we actually, if we go back in history and just have a look at this 200 moving average, and I think I need to go to another exchange because Binance only started, I'll go back to the Brave Bitcoin Liquid, and you can see there's that 200 moving averages most times held support except for the COVID drop. And we go right back now to, wow, 2014. And you can see how that 200 moving average on the weekly seems to hold support. That was December 2018 low. And then the COVID drop, we actually went through it. And the Brave network takes into consideration every single other exchange out there. And you can see it's slightly different than to, for example, Binance. But if we go to look at Binance, and you can see there, we came down to touch it there, very, very close. Sure. Literally $200 away. So for now, it's hold support, which is great. Where from now, we need to look very closely to the stock market and the S&P 500 specifically. And if we go and have a look at on Thursday, this was a candle on Thursday. And you can see what happened here on Thursday afternoon, which was the 9th. So we were trading on the 9th positively until the last couple of hours. And I think the news was already out around what the inflation number was that was going to be announced on Friday. So there was some insider, what do they call it? Insider information being leaked out. And there was already a drop on Thursday. Friday, we opened up with a massive gap here, and we carried on dropping into Friday. Stock markets obviously closed over the weekend, and crypto carried on bleeding over the weekend. And then today we've opened up on the S&P and we've opened up another massive gap here. And what we have got now, we've come down to the bottom of this white support line, which if we go onto big time frames, it is the support is coming all the way from December last year, where we've held support and we've come back down to test it again. Now, normally with the S&P, there's normally a second test. But like second test, you can see here previously where there's been a second test on this white line. It keeps on coming down and test it again. And if we go into smaller time frames from this afternoon, you can see that we have gone up and it looks like we're coming down to test again. Yeah, I was really around this chart to see what actually takes place with the S&P. This is a guide for us as far as what's going to happen with the crypto market. The crypto market is oversold at the moment. If we go start with the daily, and we look at the stock RSIs almost at the bottom, the 8 hours almost at the bottom, the 4 hours almost at the bottom. Okay, the 1 hour starting to come up there. So I think we are due for a bounce, a temporary bounce. Remember, the interest rate announcements will be on Wednesday. So I think we're going to have a temporary bounce until tomorrow evening. Then there's probably another sell-off to create possibly another double bottom on Bitcoin. And hopefully we're going to go up from there. But there's two charts here that really are worrying me. And the first one is the 10-year yield, which has absolutely spiked over the last 12 hours. So this morning we were sitting at, let's just see here, we were sitting at over here at 3.15%, and we now sit here at 3.35, and that's 6% up today on the 10-year yield. Now, when this spikes up, that is a concern in the sense that if I get it right, it's the money that's flowing into the 10-year yield. Donnie, maybe you can help me there. And coming out of places like the stock market, and that is high risk of the 10 yield spikes up like it is currently. And the second chart is the Dixie that has gone up quite a bit today, and it's sitting above that 104.50 level, which was a major resistance level. It's actually gone through it. And this is not good for stock market and for crypto market, where you've got a dollar that's strengthening like it is. So we're going to keep an eye on these two charts over the next couple of days to see what happens here.
But Jason, I've seen that the dollar has found amazing strength in the last week, and you just showed us there in the Dixie numbers.
Yeah. So if we go back and just have a look at the Dixie, we've been in this white channel since 26th of May last year, 2021. We've been honoring this white channel. We broke out of this channel on the 21st of April. We went up to the strong resistance level, 104.50. We got rejected there. We came down to retest the breakout on this white channel, and now we've gone up again. I'm hoping for a double top here, where we got a double top and we get rejected here and we start moving down. That's what I'm hoping for, because a dollar that's rising is not good for both stock and crypto markets. Now, on Ethereum, we got the same scenario, where if we have a look at the 200 moving average on the weekly, and you can see on Binance what happened there. 200 moving average on weekly came down, actually went through it a bit, but it's held support on the weekly basis, which is great. Great to see there. The other thing that's looking very good here is that we look at the Bitcoin dominance that has been rising now since the 11th of May in this rising wedge formation. In this drop, the altcoins have dropped quicker than Bitcoin, causing the dominance of Bitcoin to go up in the total market. And we've seen this afternoon a massive drop in this dominance, where money has now flowed out of Bitcoin now, and it looks like into the alts, which is awesome. The alts have actually, some of these alts have gone up quite a bit in the last 3 or 4 hours, and that has caused this dominance to break and come down, which is good. Total market cap. So I showed the guys this morning this orange line of mine, and this orange line comes from COVID. So if we go back here, the March drop 2020, it touched there, and it touched again in October 2020. And guess what? Total market cap came down and bounced off that orange support line. But it's amazing that we've now sitting on 955 billion, and yet 7 months ago, in November, we had 3 trillion. This market is actually, we could see a relief bounce now, hopefully. And that will take us up. Definitely the first resistance is going to be at 1 trillion. What sort of percentages? That's a 5% move from here. Definitely see resistance here now on the way up here. It could come back, could have come up here, come down for another retest, create a higher high, then move off there. As far as the market cap, hopefully we'll see something like that.
Now, Jason, who would have thought that we will get that? Crypto market cap and the trillion again this year. It was not on the horizon in what I've seen. So I'm not Jason, I'm not the chartist, but I did not see this coming.
Absolutely. If we have a look at Bitcoin, where we could go to now, and we've got Fibonacci Smith on the call tonight, and he can probably help me out here. But if we take a sort of fib level from this high here down to the low, we could have a retracement up to 26,143, up to that sort of level, and come back down again, as I say, similar to what we see on the market cap. Go up to that level there, come back down, create a higher high, and then hopefully go up from there.
A higher low.
A higher low. That's what we want to see. So, Donnie, that's it in short.
Cool. Thank you, Jason. I think that was a good start.
I see some questions here. Yeah. So Ed makes a good statement there about the interest rate. The Fed has indicated that they wanted to possibly give a 50% interest rate hike on Wednesday. They did say at the last meeting that they would not do a 75-point interest rate hike, but there is some fear in the market around that. The Fed has been hawkish at times, but if the Fed come out with a 75 basis point, that will be detrimental to the market, and they will lose all credibility if they come out with that. So all hope is that it is going to be a 50 basis point rate hike, and that will be positive for the stock markets on Wednesday. But just if we go back and have a look what happened last month, is that before the announcement already, the stock market started rallying. So there's definitely insider information going out to the various traders, and they're climbing on the bandwagon before the announcement. So on Wednesday, look out for any sort of bounces already starting to have that we're having in the stock market and in the crypto market, as the news already coming out.
Cool. Thank you, Jason. That was a good start. We'll get back to you just now again. And do you want to say something about the Wall Street cheat sheet?
So I showed this last week, where in November we went up to euphoria. We came back down in the beginning of December. We had the New Year's rally up to complacency. Then we've dropped all the way down. We had the lunar crisis, which is this anger. And in the last 3 weeks, we've had this bleeding all the way down to where we currently are. I would say we're very close to this bottom year in depression, hopefully. That's if the 10-year yield and the Dixie behave themselves. So we're hoping for a double bottom with a higher low, and then hopefully we start moving off from there. But it's not going to be a V-shaped recovery. This market has absolutely been decimated. There's a lot of fear out there. Take time to rebuild if we start moving back up again.
definitely, Jason, you said we in depression, and we in depression at the moment, but the market can go anywhere. I tell you, it doesn't matter where the market's going. I know what people say and how people feel about crypto at this moment. And ladies and gentlemen, allow me to just say one little thing about this guy, this Jason guy. Whom of you yesterday afternoon got a call to be on the banter show? Because who was the chartist on the banter show yesterday? None other than the subject matter expert in crypto trading at the crypto school, none other than our own Jason Ashington. So Jason, done buddy, and you've done well.
The show started at 8 o'clock last night, but I got a phone call at 7 p.m. from Craig saying they can't get hold of Sheldon or Carl, which is the other chartist, then that I need to climb one. I was busy watching TV, so I had literally 1 hour to try and clean up my charts and make my charts look like Sheldon's. And yeah, it was quite stressful.
What you've done well is you made your charts look like Jason's charts, and that's why we loved it, because we're used to that. And we just want to congratulate you and say that's a good start. If the chartists for the show are playing golf, because today we learned that they were playing golf, and it was late, so it was what happens at the 18th hole and not playing golf. But the key is, thank you, Jason, and we were so proud of you. It was absolutely amazing. But let's go to our guest speaker tonight, and we have Aaron. We had you on the call 2 weeks ago, and Aaron asked if he can come back. He would like to say a little bit more about Revix. And so tonight we have, again, as guest speaker, we have Aaron Bryceland. And Aaron, you will say something about how you fit into Revix, and you here to give us a little info again tonight. Thank you. Welcome, Aaron, and thank you.
Thanks so much, Donnie, and thanks, Jason. That was really insightful. I really appreciate it. Just a brief introduction. So I work with Revix on the private client and the FSP IFA side, but I'm not here to talk about that tonight. I just want to give a little bit of insights into the market and what I see going on, as well as a few newsworthy events and my strategy going forward. So I'm going to share my screen over here. And Donnie, you can just let me know if it's all working. Perfect.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's hanging in there during this time. As Jason was saying, it's really depressing. I know we've all been through it. I just want to touch on a few topics today, just the macro environment and Bitcoin, a newsworthy event, and just a very cool Bitcoin visual analysis I've looked, and as I said, my outlook and strategy going forward over the next months. Firstly, as Jason was saying, he touched on the interest rate hikes and all that, and I think it's quite clear that at the moment, the Fed is in control. Right, we're experiencing rising interest rates. There's asset deflation. Investors are looking for a macroeconomic bottom, which is a complete change in the downtrend to an uptrend for whatever market you're allocating your investment. So if you're a short-term trader, you may be looking for some short-term relief rallies in price. I'm not focusing on short-term price movements, but rather on a generational investment opportunity for the long term. And from a macro standpoint, we really need the Fed to change its stance to bring a bit of confidence to risk on investments. So currently the Fed, as we know, it's planning on hiking rates until they get inflation under control to the target inflation, which is approximately around 2%. And I heard two very interesting theories surrounding the Fed and the rate hikes to come. Firstly, inflation, it's so high right now that the economy is at a point where nothing else matters. The Fed is going to continue to hike until inflation is under control. And that's all they're thinking about. They don't think about anything else other than stabilizing the inflation. But another theory that I came across, which I found really interesting, is we have the US midterm elections coming up later this year. And some are theorizing that the Fed will soften the tightening of the monetary policy approaching the elections. So this could potentially mean adjusting target inflation or reducing the hike in rates, which will be great for risk on assets. So I'm talking stock market investment, equity investment, and obviously your crypto. But right now, unfortunately, crypto is highly correlated with stocks, and it is still being viewed as a risk on assets. So we're just moving wherever the stock market is moving. And this is slowly going to change over time. We always hear about the decoupling, and as more on-ramps and off-ramps come from the institutional side, that is going to slowly start changing. A newsworthy event, which is really horrible, is one of the major lending platforms in the crypto industry, Celsius. They've actually stopped withdrawals. Now, that was a big hit after the Luna Terra debacle. And we're really hoping that this was a black swan event. No one could really see it coming. There were a few indications on Twitter, but we're hoping this isn't going to have a ripple effect to all other lending platforms within the crypto markets. So it's just something to keep an eye on right now. But is crypto entering a multi-year bear market? When should I take a position, or when should I add to my positions? We're all looking for the bottom, at which price levels are best to invest. Now, we may see an extremely extended bear market, as we did from 2014 to the trend change in 2016. Jason took us through the moving average over there, the bottom, which we saw in, I think you said it was 2016. Now, I'm going to speak from a swing trader and a long-term investor perspective. I do trade shorter-term timeframes on altcoins, but only in an uptrend. My main focus is always going to be focus on adding to long-term crypto holdings and taking some chips off the table in those times of euphoria, which Jason indicated, and adding as much as possible in times of extreme fear. Now, we are in extreme fear right now, but this does not necessarily imply a price change in the short term. Prices may remain at these levels for a couple of months, even years, before structural change can take place. But despite this, I want to show you an illustration that I enjoy, and that it takes major historical sell and buy levels into consideration. This is a rainbow chart, and it's just taken all the price levels of the times of euphoria and the times of extreme fear, and it's really illustrated it in a very nice way. And as you can see now, we're in that accumulation, buy, and fire sale zone. So we're right about. So for adding to long-term positions, this is really the period that you're going to want to start looking at. What I mean about structural changes, so I use that term structural changes, it's exactly as Jason pointed out in the short term, but more on a longer term perspective, just forming higher lows and higher highs before we get a full structural change from this bear market bottom. No one really knows where the bottom is. If they say they do, take it with a pinch of salt. It's incredibly difficult to time the bottom. So where are we now? We at that 2017 Bitcoin high of 20,000. We are approaching it quickly. We're on that moving average. And this is what I've been looking at for the past couple of months, is that 22,000 Bitcoin to an 18,000 Bitcoin zone. And what I drew I drew a vertical line over here just to indicate the next halving, because we always know approaching the halving, we get a little bit of excitement. And after the halving, everything comes into play. And we usually see a big run in the crypto prices. So it's just something to take into consideration amongst the extreme fear and all the emotion that's going around now. Keep your emotions in check and invest based on the time frame that you want to invest in. I'm just looking at previous downtrends, the previous rally from the bottoms of each market cycle. You could see in the 2013, we had a 268% rebound from the bottom, 2016, 145%, 2019, 2020, 124%. So I'm not exactly sure where this bottom is going to be, but you can expect when it does happen, it's going to be very aggressive. So my outlook and my strategy going forward, because I do see it as a buyer's market right now. This is where you want to be to start adding to your portfolio. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin and Ethereum initially, right? As well as looking at a smart contract bundle. Now, obviously, I'm going to put up Revix smart contract bundle because it gives you exposure to all of those assets in one click. And as we start seeing a trend change, I'm going to move from my higher cap to my lower cap alt. So I will be shifting more from Bitcoin and Ethereum and my higher cap smart contracts to your lower market cap players, which there are quite a few in the DeFi space. And we also offer a DeFi bundle over there, which can give you exposure to all of those assets. On top of that, in my personal capacity, I'm cutting back on all my spending and my monthly expenses to allocate more to the market. And I'm currently sitting on about 11% cash, which I've got in stablecoin earning a yield in the Revix vault. And I'm going to allocate about 7% of that cash once we reach that $22,000 to $17,000 Bitcoin mark, because I believe that is pretty much near the bottom. I might be wrong. I've seen people indicate as low as a $12,000 Bitcoin, but I just don't see it going lower than 22 to 17,000. However, I have been wrong in the, what I'll do on the chat, that's all I really want to speak about. I wanted to keep it short and sweet, but I will also put the Crypto School's promotion code for Revix over there. And that will allow you guys, when you sign up on Revix, to be directly linked to me. And you can contact me with any promotions or any opinions or anything you want to know about the platform. And one last thing I actually wanted to point out, the only bundle which has done well is the Inflation Shield bundle. And that's because it has some gold exposure. So gold has clearly done all right in the last couple of weeks. And we've actually seen about a 15% return on the Inflation Shield bundle from Revix. So I'll put in the promo code there for the Crypto School in the chat box. And you guys are welcome to sign up, check out the platform, and you can contact me for anything that you need in the future. That's all I have to say, Donnie. Thanks a lot.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. We appreciate your visit, and we will call you back while we have Crypto Talk on a Monday evening. So whenever you have something to share, you're more than welcome. But thank you for your contribution tonight. Let's go to the young gun and go and see what the young gun has got on his mind tonight. Andre, doing crypto trading, our young gun in the room. And without further ado, Andre, what do you see in the water?
Yeah, guys, again, like last Monday, I'm super excited. I just want Bitcoin to go to that level Aaron said as well. And if you remember what I said last time, I want that 786, 887 zone for Bitcoin. And that is actually where Aaron said that's the low which he's waiting for. That's the lowest he sees. And that is about $17,000. Yeah, I'm waiting for that one. Then yeah, I'm just excited for that. But what I actually want to share with you guys tonight, or just a reminder, and I know there's a nice video we have on YouTube, and I'll quickly share the screen. You guys can see the name is Morning Call, Understanding Bitcoin Dominance. And you can see, and I'm gonna watch this photo here. I'm gonna work from that. And what I want you guys to see is, I want you guys to see the Bitcoin dominance. Now, I think Jason would agree, but yeah, this is actually looking crazy. And I'm not sure if you guys can see really nice, but if you open this up and just take that VP away, so you guys can see here, just delete that box. We are getting close to a really strong resistance, and we had this trend line here. We broke that, made a retest, and we are going strong. And this is on Bitcoin. And if you see what this thing says, and it says the Bitcoin dominance. So the left side here is with the movement of the dominance, and then the middle one is the trend. It's upwards or downwards, and then the signal is buy Bitcoin or sell alts, or buy alts or sell Bitcoin. So you can see now the ratio for the dominance is upwards. So Bitcoin's dominance is upwards, while the price movement is downwards. So the signal is sell altcoins, because everybody's eyes are on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going down, but the dominance is going up. So obviously the eyes are on Bitcoin. So technically the alts are going to bleed more than Bitcoin. So that's why they say sell altcoins. But if Bitcoin's dominance would have went up and Bitcoin's price went up, then they say you should buy Bitcoin. The other way around, if you wanted to buy altcoins, the Bitcoin's dominance should go and then Bitcoin's price should go up. Then that is a good signal to buy altcoins. And when you wanted to sell Bitcoin, where you have to sell Bitcoin is when the ratio of dominance is going down and Bitcoin's price is going down, then you should sell Bitcoin. But I know that's a mouthful, but anyways, you can screenshot that, write it down or something. That is really actually a nice thing. And go watch this YouTube, guys. This was a really great by Jordan. It's a Bybit ambassador. Anyways, but with further ado, So one thing I see with Bitcoin's dominance, and Jason can maybe share his view later on, but if we break this red line here, there's not really support. Here the movement was crazy here and this, but it's like a consolidation with the dominance, and you can easily go to that 382 area there, and from where we are now, that is a 10% movement in the dominance. And obviously, you guys know I love my 618. So that's my 618 and 786 zone. So if Bitcoin can go to that area, I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I just know the FIB works. So there's two zones that I'm looking out for, and this is the 382, and that's the two stuff that I see. But what I want to show you guys as well is, for instance, you should ask yourself, okay, I'm sitting with altcoins, I'm sitting with coins that are bleeding. Obviously, everybody's coins are bleeding. And for instance, you have Solana. So what you do is, and we are watching Bitcoin's dominance. So what you do is you go to Solana, but instead of USDT, you go and say Solana Bitcoin. So you're pairing it with the Bitcoin price. So one thing I want you guys to see is, so the price action was going downwards. So that means Bitcoin is outperforming the alts. So you can basically add AVAX. You can add any alt. Most of the alts. That's the wrong one. But you can add most of the alts, and you would see that Bitcoin is outperforming all of them. And you can use the same analogy that I use with any other coin and even the dominance. But you can see we are below the 618 and 786 zone. So I'm not giving you financial advice or anything, but this is a bit contradicting. But so what I'm looking for, sorry, that's the wrong one. I'm gonna check and see what is gonna happen with this dominance. If we break this, and this is just what I'm thinking, if we break this red line, then I'm gonna see, okay, I have a few alts, I'm rather gonna move them to Bitcoin. But obviously this is resistance, so we can easily turn here, and then the alts are gonna probably outperform Bitcoin a bit because the price action is so low regarding Bitcoin. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And again, guys, I'm really excited because how cheap is the market? And if you go check the USDT dominance as well, sorry, there's a lot of lines here, I was just playing around. But if you were longing this coin, you should be smiling. And unfortunately, this is the dollar dominance. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. And yeah, so guys, remember, you can trade Bitcoin, you can trade any alt to Bitcoin, you can trade Bitcoin to USDT, doesn't matter, as long as you're making money. And I know the market is a bit emotional, and Aaron said, and he's been here for a long time as well. And like he said, the emotions get to you, but yeah, you should go get the bigger picture. So yeah, I don't know, Jason, if you want to maybe add something on your side. You are the specialist. I don't know if we are good enough for you to to speak to now, because you're no
Jason decided not to reply to that.
Okay. Now, just asking if you want to add something regarding the dominance and what you're thinking about that. And while you are thinking about something, I just want you guys to see as well. And again, this is the CME futures, and there is that gap between 19 and 18,000. And yeah, let's see if that gets filled. But in short term, I think we're gonna get some sort of a relief rallies now. So I don't think we're gonna get straight through this, but it depends on what's happening Wednesday. Anyways.
So the USDT dominance is quite hard to chart because they're always printing USDT. So it's quite difficult to find a top in USDT. The CME futures, so there's two above there too. Have you got them?
Sorry?
On the CME futures.
I'll quickly open it. Okay, it's open.
Okay, so you got the gap from this morning.
Sorry, you're talking about the daily, eh?
So that, yeah, you got the gap from this morning and you got the one above that at 34.
Yeah. Oh, and sorry, and just another thing, guys. There's this website called coinoptionstrack.com. And here you can actually go track the options. And this is the guys that's leveraging the market. And here you can check the max pain. And you guys remember the whole time this year, the max pain was at like 32 the whole time. 32. And nothing changed except for now. You can see this is for, let's just take 1st July. You can see the max pain is at 26,000. So that's to the upward side, because you can see where Bitcoin is at now, that is 23. So 26 is so that's the max pain for everybody to get most hurt out of the market, is to be at 26 by the 1st of, yeah.
Why would you like to inflict the maximum pain into the market?
Sorry?
Why would you like to inflict the maximum pain into the market?
No, I'm just telling the guys all the information out there. And another thing is, everybody, I don't see a lot of people out there on Twitter or anywhere that says, okay guys, we are going to all-time high now. There's no one that I saw that was bullish actually. Everybody is waiting for 20K. I'm also waiting for 20K. I can't wait for 20K anymore. But the problem is, everybody's waiting for 20K. So if everybody's going to wait for something, it's not going to happen, because everyone can't make money. Only a few people can make money. So that's the only problem I have with that. And that's why I still trade. If I get longs, I still trade bullish trades. I short where I can. But yeah, so that's the thing. You have to trade when you are super scared, and you have to take profit when you're super greedy.
Oh, thank you, Andre. Next up, the crypto wealth coach, Marius. Marius is learning something on a weekly basis and then coming to share it with us. But Marius is busy with a specific project, I know, and I don't know whether he's actually looking at the screens at the moment. Maybe he switched his phone off. But Marius, over to you.
Yes, Daniel, yes. I still do the course in the background, and so I will be on here soon to show you some stuff. But it is actually Mickey Mouse stuff in comparison with Jason and Andre. So that is actually great to have these two guys on our call. And Aaron, thank you also for your insight tonight. And just remember, if in doubt, zoom out. So I just want to share my Wall Street cheat sheet with you. So this is more or less how a lot of us are feeling at this stage. Jason, where are we now? There in the right-hand corner. So I saw this on our WhatsApp group. And so just to show you, we actually have a great morning call sessions every morning. And that is where our hope comes from. You can see every morning we've got a morning call, a trading and morning call. And we've got the big guns like Jason and Ed and all those guys on that call. So you're more than welcome to join us. Just send me or Daniel an email, and we will get you onto that morning call as well. So Daniel, if you don't mind, I can show them the YouTube as well. Or
You can go.
Okay, great. I had the YouTube open of the crypto school, and you're more than welcome to go and subscribe. Here we've got the crypto all the Monday evenings, but you can see that we've got some sessions with our life coach and the business coach and the mindset coaches as well. This is great sessions, and this is all actually on the house, because what we do in the crypto school, we are just here to serve you guys and give you as much information as we can. That's all from my side.
Cool. Thank you, Marius. I absolutely appreciate that. And allow me then to go to our webpage, thecryptoschool.co.za. Remember, if you click there on the free stuff and you register on the free stuff, that icon there on top, the free stuff icon will open for you, and you will be able to go see the free stuff. And in there, we have a free workshop, Understand Bitcoin and Blockchain and the difference between money and Bitcoin. If you're new to the market, if you're new to crypto, that's each one is a 2-hour workshop. It's a good start. But then we have the crypto talks. There's our previous crypto talks. And you can see we've been busy with this for quite some time. We haven't just started today. Those crypto talks that are there on that since COVID days, we have been busy with this for quite some time. And we save the program for you every week to make sure that you get the information. I'm going to round robin, and I'm going to ask everyone for a last comment for the evening. And I'm going to start with Jason, because I know he's got 3 more charts that he needs to share with us. And I'm going to start with Jason, but then I'm going to, Aaron, Young Gun, and Marius, I'm going to call you up for a last comment for the evening as well. But first, Jason.
Johnny, I think I haven't got any more charts because the focus now is really on two charts. That's both the leading indicator, the S&P, and also obviously Bitcoin. But these markets have been rattled today. I sense that they're still looking for direction. If we just have a look at that S&P, it's created a bit of a higher high, but only on the 15-minute. Let's just go to the higher low on the 1 hour, trending sideways. So we're hoping for a move back up here, back into this strong support area. And the reason why it's support, if we go back and look at previous times, this was last month where we went down into this green block here and held support. And if we go back here to March last year, we spent quite a bit of time where it was resistance at that stage. Very strong resistance for almost, what is that? Almost 2 months, 6 weeks we spent in this area, and because it was strong resistance that we managed to eventually break out on the S&P. So at the same time right now, that strong resistance is now very strong support. Even though we've gone through it a bit, it doesn't mean that we can recover and go back into the support area. Eyes are really fixated around this S&P 500 now in the next couple of hours to see what it's going to do. And that should also play out into Bitcoin. That when S&P drops, what happens to Bitcoin? It drops, and the rest of the market drops. So keep an eye on these charts over the next couple of hours to see what actually plays out here. I've just measured that target that we're hopefully going to reach by tomorrow evening. And the reason why I say tomorrow evening is that the 4-hour stock, once it gets to the top, and that would be a sort of a guide to say that would be there we need to be selling off. And you can see it's starting to cool right now. It's at the bottom, starting to cool up. So I think by tomorrow evening, the stock will be at the top here. And then hopefully we've got back up to the 618 area, which is 26,160. But I say this market is totally rattled. We have definitely got have not got a V-shaped recovery here. It is going to take a bit of time to play out. So that move up there to that target is just over 10%. And on the total, we take a 10% move here, it's going to take us to 1.05 trillion from where we currently are. Yeah, 1.05 trillion. Yeah, we're hoping right now that we're going to start moving up, but still very difficult at this stage.
Thank you, Jason. Efficient and making it sound so easy. Thank you, Jason. We appreciate that. Then we go to Aaron. Aaron, last remarks from you for the evening.
Sure. I think just a summary of points, as we've reiterated a few times. There's extreme fear. We're in a buy zone right now. We have a lot of uncertainty because the crypto market hasn't been around long enough to have experienced the current macroeconomic climate that we're in. So I'm not sure if we're going to get a V-shaped recovery, as what was just said. I think it's important to dollar cost average. I swear by dollar cost averaging, and keep an eye on the structural changes. If you see some bids coming in and we're forming higher lows and higher highs, that's time to get a bit more aggressive. But I agree with Andre. I'm taking a bit more of a contrarian view to the rest of the market. Everyone is in extreme fear. Everything is horrible, right? Dollar cost averaging in, and I'm keeping about 10 to 11% dry powder to unload as soon as I feel this is it.
Cool. Thank you, Aaron. Good summary and with a little bit of feeling from your side in there. Thank you. Much appreciated. Marius, your last comments for the evening.
Yes, Daniel, I spoke to one of not my investors, but an investor that I assisted into crypto. And he just reminded me what I told him in the beginning. Crypto is an asset. So if you are stuck in coins, just keep on and holding on. And the price will eventually go back. You can't sell it out of fear now. Just keep in there and just keep on adding to your positions. So yeah, that's all from my side.
Cool. Thank you, Marius. And Luna served me well with that attitude, tongue in cheek. Yes, it is. It is absolutely the case. We are in a place where it's not easy to sell coins because we always want to try and get a bit of a better price, and the market is running. And if the market is running away from you, to get a better price is not always that easy. But we know that we're in crypto, and you can see I'm only 21. I still look 21, but I'm in crypto. So that's why I aged a little more than Andre. I've been in crypto longer than Andre. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Jason, our crypto banter chartist, for your contribution tonight. Thank you, Aran, for your contribution, and slipping a little bit about Revix products in there. And I would like to tell the people to go and look at the Revix savings product on USD, sorry, my apology, USD, the safer stablecoin. And the returns on there, last time I checked, was double digits. And you are in USD, so I'll say go look into that. And that was it for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions. Thank you, team, for being on the call. Remember, we cannot serve you if you're not here to be served. It's an absolute privilege serving you. Have a good one, and we absolutely wish for some green candles in there for you. Have a good one. Remember, I see Larry asking around something. Larry, if you use our link and register on Revix, you immediately in Aran's portfolio, and he will look after you, and you can directly have contact with him. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Have a good evening. Cheers. Bye-bye.